Good evening, Muttonistas. Some of you, my football followers, haven't seen me for a while. In fact, my last football vlog was the last Champions League game we played against Young Boys at home. It's Champions League time again, and tonight we only need a point at home to Leipzig to ensure topping the group, although we've already qualified. I would have thought this would be fairly straightforward, but you never know. Now I'm starting off today from the station pub or the station hotel in Didsbury, and there's a good reason for that. Those of you who've been following me on Instagram and those of you from Instagram who have come over might have noticed that I was very keen on the pint of Guinness here. So these things can come and go, and consistency is the key when it comes to Guinness. It is a bit of a red pub, but I get on well with the management here and the punters, so I don't think there'll be a problem. And of course for me, the quality of the beer is always king. Okay, Muttonistas, got myself a pint of Guinness. And this is one of the best places you can go to in South Manchester for a pint. They've been having the Guinness engineers in, and after they've sorted out their technical problems, the pint here is absolutely superb. In fact, as good as you're going to get outside Ireland. And unusually for a pub that sells good beer, they have football screens. So if you want to go and watch the match, this is a good place to play. Albeit being a bit of a red, and for this match in particular, a Celtic supporters pub. And of course they do have live music and I think Celtic sports, the sort of things you'd expect for an Irish pub. Anyway, a quick thought about tonight's match. The team news obviously hasn't come out yet. But a close examination of the group standings will tell you that City are not just qualified for the last 16, but very comfortably. However, we haven't sorted out topping the group yet. Okay, it doesn't always mean everything because it depends who finishes first and second in the other groups, but coming first usually gives you one less difficult match in the knockout stages. City are on 12 points after 4 games, 4 wins, and RB Leipzig, however, are only 3 points behind on 9 points. Now, if you remember, we won 3-1 away in Leipzig, so a draw would mean we definitely top the group. A 1-goal or a 2-0 loss would mean we're still in pole position, but would have to beat Belgrade away. City do have a hectic schedule with the World Club Championship coming up, so I think Guardiola's going to want to get the business done tonight, and I think what he'll do is he'll go for a strong lineup, hope the business is done by half-time, and then start taking players off. So I expect people like Bernardo and Haaland and Rodri to start the game. Anyway, I'd better get on with this. I might not be able to squeeze a food segment in tonight, but I will try. Having said that, this is quite nourishing stuff. Now then, as luck would have it, the little Italian deli and restaurant and cafe, whatever you want to call it, the Casa Italia, was open. I thought they closed a bit earlier than this, but this is perfect for me pre-match. Quick bite, quick slurp of a lovely Italian red wine, and Robert's your uncle. So, to drink, I've gone for a large glass of Montepulciano, and that is a large glass, Muttonistas. Pretty tasty, served at the right temperature. And I have also gone, because I'm short of time, for a panini with gorgonzola, I think another type of cheese, and andouja, which is a spicy southern Italian salami. A lot of ingredients that work for me. Okay, the panini has arrived, and I didn't quite realise there'd be ham as well involved in this. Oh well, the more meat the better. And as you'd expect for a panini, the bread is served warm. That is really good. Warm bread, tasty meat, that spicy salami gives a hint of spiciness. It's not like vindaloo or anything like that. And a little hint of blue cheese. I know not all of you like that sort of stuff, but I love it. And I'm running so late today, just about got time to discuss the team news with you. And as expected, City have gone pretty strong today, except Ortega deputises for Edison. And he's a good keeper, Ortega, nothing to worry about there. At the back, we've got Guardiola, who's still trying to fit in as a left back, Kyle Walker at right back, Ruben Dias, Manuel Akanji. Rodri, of course, in midfield. Rico Lewis, not sure where he's going to play. Will it be alongside Rodri or more advanced? I don't know. Foden, Bernardo Silva, and Jack Grealish is back after his recent illness, shall we say. And as usual, Erling Haaland leads the line. Alvarez on the bench, and isn't it great to see Johnny Stones back there? I'll drink to that, Muttonistas. Come back, Johnny, we want you in the first team. Well, Muttonistas, I am inside the stadium actually with quite a few minutes to spare, not that many, and I won't take my seat until that evil UEFA anthem has been played, so we'd better have a swift heart whilst we're waiting for that to be played. Well, I was about to say that Leipzig have given it a lot more of a go than they have in any of our previous encounters. They pressed pretty high and they caught Manuel Akanji being more than a little bit sloppy. We're 1-0 down. Come on! 25 in, not really what I was expecting. Leipzig giving it a good go. I mean, they've got nothing to lose really, have they? I mean, they've got to win for this group to remain open at all. Doesn't matter how much they lose by if they don't. And City look a bit sluggish, a bit leggy again. Akanji in particular being pounced on. I know he's playing in an unfamiliar role, but we've got to do better than this. Go on. Oh! This is getting seriously bad. We need to pull our fingers out there. Somebody should have taken a yellow there and fouled the guy because he was the last man, but in a wide position so he wouldn't get a red. Oh well, let's hope Guardiola has the solution to all this. Oh! Go on. Oh! Well, what was that? 2-0 down at half-time. to admittedly a decent Leipzig side. I mean, these teams are no mugs, especially if they come from Germany. And I know the Champions League group stage is a bit of a procession, but still, you've got to give them some respect and play a bit better than that. Totally sloppy passing, individual mistakes all around, and their pacey striker, Opendo, made us pay. He did do really well with both of those goals. Ruben Diaz is walking on a tightrope. He might get sent off if he's not careful. Maybe he should be hooked at half-time. And yes, I know that we have a really packed schedule, a lot of games coming up, but the big chance for some of our players to get a rest was to get at least the draw we need tonight to ensure topping the group. Okay, coming second, not the end of the world, but it risks a nasty draw in the round of 16. The more of these difficult games you get, the more likely you are to get knocked out. And I suppose if it stays 2-0, we still will top the group if we win in Belgrade, but we'll have to put a strong team out to play in what's quite a hostile place, albeit against a team who look as if they're going to have nothing to play with as they're losing to the young boys at the moment. And of course, if we concede a third without replying, we actually lose control of the group, and Leipzig winning at home against the young boys on the last day will mean they top the group. And I'm sure we'll have chances. We've had quite a few chances in the first half, not particularly clean chances, but a sharp finish could have seen City scoring one or more goals. So let's hope the second half's better. At least I've got my half-time pint swiftly. So come on, City, and Guardiola, sort it out, give them the hairdryer treatment.
It was very close, that was a long time ago. Come on!
Grealish for Doku, Walker for Alvarez, attacking substitutions. Let's hope it proves to yield dividends. And talk about immediate dividends being paid. Phil Foden with all the work, slipped it through to Erling Haaland. Back of the net, in the corner. 2-1 still to Leipzig, City back in it. To play there, and when Foden was slipped through, he didn't make a mistake. 2-2, that's all we need from this game, but let's get another one and win this one. Come on, City. They'll have to be a bit careful about their counter. They took Opendo and Forsberg off. I thought those were quite defensive substitutions by Leipzig, but it does appear that they've still got a little bit of gas left in the tank. Thankfully, no anxious check for VAR there.
We're the boys in blue! Oh! Coming after you! Oh!
Go on. Go on! Well, it's been a hard slog since that ugly first half, but a beautiful ball, I think, from Ake over to Jeremy Doku, beat his man, threw it over a step round this man into the left corner, 3-2 City, that's the group done. And I'm sorry, in all the excitement, I forgot that the ball went to Phil Foden, and he's the man who supplied the final delicious pass. Okay, I didn't think I'd be giving you a lengthy post-match wrap, but there's a lot to talk about there. So I'm going to bring you the post-match wrap from the Piccadilly tap near the station. Convenient, because I'm catching a train. And I was slightly worried to see a lot of dibble around. I hope it's not kicked off or anything. I really don't see why it should have done so. Didn't see any beef between City and Leipzig fans in Leipzig. Anyway, it's freezing. Let's go in and have a pint. Well, Muttonistas, what did you make of that then? A game of two halves, perhaps? I know it's an old cliche, but it happens so often in football. And when we were 2-0 down at half-time, I had memories of the Tottenham game about how we came back. The only difference is Leipzig were made of more stuff and took longer to buckle than Tottenham did. Anyway, I've ordered a pint of the Brew York Toncoco Milk Stout, I think. The first sip was reserved for my Instagram reel, I'm afraid, lads. But it is actually a lovely pint. It's actually closer to Guinness than the heavily coffee or chocolate pronounced English stouts. To be honest, as you know, I like them all. And I'd love to have heard what Guardiola said to them at half-time. Rockets are passes, because that first half was appalling. Slow, sluggish, sloppy passing, losing their men, slow to react to counter-attacks. And I have to say, Leipzig played really well. They stuck to their plan, they pressed, and they fell back into shape, but then counter-attacked pretty quickly. Apando was a real handful, took advantage of mistakes. In fact, the two big mistakes each time leading to a goal. That's what you have to do in the Champions League. And City were in a mess at half-time. Not just facing having to win in Belgrade, but facing losing control of the group. DS wisely hooked at half-time. He was very close to being sent off. But what really changed the game was bringing on Jeremy Doku and Julian Alvarez. Really attacking substitutions from Pep Guardiola, bringing off Kyle Walker and leaving us with three at the back, with Bernardo now bringing us that width on the right. We pinned Leipzig back in the second half, even though they had a couple of dangerous moments. And I thought Phil Foden was quite superb tonight. Definitely my man of the match. I know the substitutions helped, but he had involvement, direct involvement in all three of the goals. I apologise that I didn't quite catch his involvement in the winning goal because I was filming and it was right at the other end of the pitch. But it was a beautiful layoff to Julian Alvarez. I've seen the footage I covered. I saw the replays at the stadium and it was quite sublime. We managed the game quite superbly from that point. Really didn't give them much of a sniff. In fact, they needed 2 goals for anything to matter anyway. And so we go to Belgrade with the match being a dead rubber. Now, if I wanted to be selfish, I'd want the game to mean something because I'm covering it. But no, City's results first. And for the World Club Championship, we need our players to be fresh, especially as we have a home game to Palace sandwiched between the Belgrade game and the World Club Championship. And on the subject of Tottenham, we do have them next with their high press, high line, energetic running forward and counter-attacking. We need to be very careful and we need to be on the money for that game because they might not give us a chance to get back into it as Leipzig did today, although I suppose they have done in the past at the Etihad. Johnny Stones didn't come on today. A pity, we would have liked to have seen him involved. Let's hope that he does get a game against Tottenham. Maybe he's not quite ready yet because I think Akanji is a little bit uncomfortable playing that role that John Stones plays. At the back, again, some concern. Against Liverpool, we looked okay at the back, but we weren't against Chelsea, and Diaz just doesn't seem quite at the races. The Kanji, suspect moments for the goals that Leipzig scored. I hope that gets ironed out. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy this milk stout. It really is nice. I guess there's a tiny bit of sweetness to it, and I'm going to try the coffee stout next. But that, Muttonistas, is going to be my little private treat. I'll be there to cover the Tottenham game in a few days' time on Sunday. But until then, please remember, keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing. Please tell all your friends about me. But most of all, don't forget, you can't beat a bit of mutton.